It's time for Volusia Magazine, a public information television program brought to you by Volusia County Government. I'm Joanne Magley. On today's program, we'll showcase special attractions throughout Volusia County designed to get the entire family into the holiday spirit. Michelle Coates will take you on a tour of a local olive farm. You'll witness a rehabilitated sea turtle being released back into the wild, and Community Information Director Dave Byron will talk holiday safety with Sergeant Jay Toth, a crime prevention specialist with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office. Those stories and more on this edition of Volusia Magazine. From trees to tours, Volusia County Government Services have lots of ways for people to get into the holiday spirit. The county's Lyonia Preserve in Deltona is where you can go to cut your own sand pine holiday tree. While they are not traditional holiday trees, sand pines have been popular among Floridians for decades. You can select your favorite sand pine from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. December 14th and 15th. Randall Sleester, supervisor of the county's Land Management Division, says you'll get a unique tree and you'll help to maintain habitat for Florida scrub jays.
So in order for the scrub jays to remain on site, we have to keep the vegetation under control, and sand pines are one of those species that we try to remove periodically. These are relatively thin trees. What some people will do is tie multiple trees together or do trees outside. They will actually decorate a tree outside. They are a kind of a Charlie Brown tree, but with some TLC, just like they did with Charlie Brown's tree, it can end up being a nice looking tree.
Visitors to the preserve should bring a saw and enter the preserve through the entrance at Deltona Lakes Elementary School, south of Deltona City Hall. Donations are requested and proceeds will be used by the Friends of Deltona Library to support ongoing programs for the Deltona Regional Library. DeBerry Hall Historic Site is all decked out for the holidays. Residents and visitors can take a tour of this 1871 vacation hunting lodge of millionaire Frederick DeBerry. Make plans to visit December 16th for the special Victorian Teas and Trees event and sample delicious teas and view 9 beautifully decorated Victorian trees. The cost for teas and trees is $8 per person. Reservations are required and may be made by calling 386-668-3840. Regular tours, which do not require reservations, are offered every day except Monday. Admission prices for regular tours are $5 for adults, $4 for seniors, $2 for children ages 3 to 12, and free for children 2 and younger. And the Volusia County Library System has a variety of holiday programs for children and adults, including crafting a handmade holiday ornament December 12th and cookie decorating December 18th. Library Services Director Lucinda Coley says libraries are a great way for families to enjoy fun and educational programs, especially while the kids are on holiday break.
Well, many of our libraries have special programs planned during the holiday season. We have some ornament making programs. I know that there's a program in Port Orange. The teens are going to decorate sugar cookies. We have musical programs, movies. The book club at the DeLand Library is doing a book exchange, bring a wrapped book and exchange it with other club members. So a lot of different programs going on in the libraries.
For a complete list of library events, visit www.volusialibrary.org. Benjamin, a 70-pound sub-adult loggerhead sea turtle that was getting rehabilitated at the Volusia County Marine Science Center, is now back at home in the sea. The center's rehabilitation team released Benjamin November 23rd. The 100th stranded sea turtle cared for by the Marine Science Center this year, the turtle was named after Benjamin Franklin, who appears on the $100 bill. When he was found on the beach in St. Johns County September 11th, Benjamin was weak, dehydrated, underweight, and covered in algae, barnacles, and leeches. His shell was damaged by organisms living on his shell, and the shell's top layer took quite some time to heal. But Melissa Ranley of the Marine Science Center said after about 10 weeks of therapy, Benjamin gained 11 pounds and was ready to be released back into the wild.
Benjamin's rehabilitation was a relatively smooth one. One of the things that takes the longest when you have a debilitated animal is that red blood cell count. When you have an animal that comes in very anemic, unfortunately that's not the kind of thing that resolves quickly. So even though the animal was eating and gaining weight and looked really strong and to most bystanders would seem like a healthy turtle, it takes quite a while to get that red blood cell count back up.
So far this year, the Marine Science Center has treated 110 sea turtles and nearly 100 other reptiles, including gopher tortoises, box turtles, and freshwater turtles. Since opening in 2002, the center has cared for more than 16,000 sea turtles. Located in Ponce Inlet, across from the lighthouse, one of the main goals of the Marine Science Center is sea turtle rehabilitation. Guests can overlook 7 sea turtle hospital pools from the Turtle Terrace, and through a viewing window, watch turtles being cared for by rehab specialists. Visitors literally get their hands wet at the Stingray Touch Pool that features cow-nosed stingrays and hermit crabs. They can also take a leisurely stroll through the Mary Keller Seabird Rehabilitation Sanctuary, which has treated more than 4,500 birds from more than 140 different species. For more information on the Marine Science Center, call 386-304-5545 or visit marinesciencecenter.com.
Hi, I'm Joyce Cusack, Volusia County Council Member at Large. As tough economic times continue, Volusia County residents and visitors are seeing the value of public transportation. During the last fiscal year, Votran had more than 3.5 million boardings. Votran offers a variety of services, including fixed route buses, a beachside trolley, van pooling, and a gold service for people who can't ride fixed route buses due to disability or age. For more information about Votran, visit Votran.org.
Now let's join Michelle Coates for this week's Business Beat for a look at a new crop rising up in Volusia County: olive farms.
We are here at Florida Olive Systems, one of the largest olive tree farms in the state of Florida. I'm Michelle Coates with the Business Beat.
Think of olive trees and you may think of the Mediterranean, but did you know that you can grow olive trees in Florida? Their foliage can complement any landscape, and the olives can be cured and eaten or pressed for oil. The olive tree leaves can be used for teas, but it's what's inside the olive that's the most valuable. The black and green gems, well-known products of Spain, Italy, and Greece, could become a cash crop for local fern and citrus growers, both facing economic and environmental concerns. We spoke with Richard Williams of Florida Olive Systems about his family's olive grove and its possibilities.
It's a huge industry. If you'll equate citrus with American football and soccer with olive oil, it's a worldwide market. People are now just starting to realize the tremendous benefits of the oil. The market in 1995 was approximately 22 million gallons. It's now at 80 million to 85 million gallons and continuing to appreciate. And so there's a huge market there for growers in the U.S. to capitalize on.
The Florida Veitch family of Volusia County planted a 20-acre high-density experimental olive grove in De Leon Springs. The largest non-trellis commercial grove in Florida is the brainchild of Florida Olive Systems' Richard Williams, who's worked for years in the local fern and plant industries and has traveled to California, Texas, and Georgia groves researching olive growing. The olive grove, which replaced a commercial pine grove, has over 11,000 thin, young trees twisted around taller white pipes set up in rows to permit mechanical harvesting when the trees mature. This experimental planting will help determine whether the success of mechanized olive farming is possible in Central Florida.
What they're finding out in Georgia and in Texas, where people said it wouldn't work, they're getting approximately 4 tons to the tree on 4-year-old trees. At 5 years, of age and greater, that's when you basically get to your maturity point. You can get 4 to 6 tons, possibly greater, depends on your climate and what Mother Nature gives you. And that would equate to, depending upon the tree variety, 30 to 40 gallons per ton.
Agricultural advances have led to more olive tree varieties and helped to produce trees more suitable for Florida's climate. Just like varieties of blueberries, grapes, and peaches have helped to bring those crops to Florida.
Ideally, we would like to see production in about 3 years.
Florida farmers are taking the chance on olives because the consumption of olive oil is increasing in the United States and around the world due to its healthy properties. United States consumption of olive oil increased from 22 million gallons in 1995 to about 80 million gallons a year today. And 98% of the olive oil used in the United States is imported. California is the nation's largest olive oil producer, but that covers less than 2% of the United States consumption. There's an opening for domestically produced olive oil.
You can just sell the fruit. You can actually send this to a mill and they can bottle it for you, then they can sell it, or they can put your label on it, then you can sell it. A great product to use in cooking and oil and for bread and salads.
The olive came to the United States with the Franciscan Fathers and followed the missions north. The earliest written record of domestic olive oil production is from 1803. Olives were grown in the southeast United States during colonial times, but the last of the trees were destroyed in the late 1800s. Olives have had a presence in California for several hundred years and in the Mediterranean region for thousands of years. Today, olives are grown on 6 different continents. In the United States, olives are being grown in Oregon, Texas, Arizona, Georgia, Florida, and even Hawaii.
But there's a lot of uses and a lot of health benefits. It has numerous vitamins that are in it, and it has anti-inflammatory properties. There's just a lot of good things that come from this.
Olive leaf tea, olive leaf extract, cut foliage uses, landscape uses, and many different and ornate uses from the wood are just a few of the popular uses. Need the perfect gift? Olive trees are an expression of peace and love, and they make great gifts as well as great trees for your landscape and maybe a little olive production. Thanks for joining us today at Florida Olive Systems. I'm Michelle Coates with the Business Beat.
If you're a beginner hydroponic gardener or would like to set up an easy system to grow vegetables, Joe Seward's Volusia County Extension Agent has some helpful tips for those gardeners in this week's segment of Horticulture Today.
Hi, my name is Joe Seward, and I'm the Urban Horticulture Agent for the Volusia County Extension Office. But what I'd like to talk to you briefly about is hydroponics and how easy they can be and how relatively inexpensive they can be. And what you're seeing here is a fairly sophisticated hydroponic unit. These are available for sale to the general public. Most hydroponics are available on the internet. This unit sells for about $150, $160. And this is a recirculating unit. So if you live in an apartment, if you live in a condominium, if you don't have space or bad soil at your home, this is a very easy way to grow herbs and some fruits and vegetables. It's very easy to do. The water recycles. The fertilizer solution is in there as well. And you won't believe how fast these things grow. Like I say, these are available on the internet. There are a variety of hydroponic retailers. They'll ship it to you. Very easy to do, very simple unit. This is another form of hydroponics that is very, very easy, and this is a good way to grow leafy vegetables like lettuce, kale, broccoli even. It simply is using a coffee can, and this is a good project not only for adults but for kids as well. You can take an ordinary coffee can and you simply cut a 2.5-inch hole in the lid. Take a styrofoam cup, pinch some holes in the bottom, put it in the hole in the lid, fill it with your fertilizer solution, and you're ready to go. You can drop a lettuce transplant in here, collards, any of your leafy vegetables, even herbs. Set this out on the patio. Takes about 5 minutes to make. Very simple way of growing, again, at least a portion of your own food at home, even if you don't have room, if you don't have good soil. Very inexpensive, very simple, very easy to do. And again, a good way to show kids not only alternative ways of growing things, but showing them how to repurpose and recycle things that ordinarily would go to the landfill or the recycle facility. This is yet another form of hydroponics. There are many different types of hydroponics, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to grow plants directly in the water. What this is called is deep water culture. And what it does is suspends the plant over top of the nutrient solution in this 5-gallon bucket. The nutrient solution is kept aerated and circulating with a commonly available aquarium pump and an air stone that is simply dropped into the nutrient solution, and that just keeps it moving around, circulating, so that the roots of this plant will grow down into the nutrient solution. We have lots of literature and sources on how to make these. It's really easy to do, it's a lot of fun, and it's very interesting. For Horticulture Today, I'm Joe Swords.
For more information, go to volusia.org/extension.
Hi, I'm Specialist Robert Knipple, stationed at beautiful Fob Zanzibar, Afghanistan. Just want to say hello to my mom and dad in Ormond Beach, Florida. Merry Christmas and I love you.
Now let's join Community Information Director Dave Byron in the studio to talk about keeping your family safe during the holidays with studio guest Sergeant Jay Toth with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office.
You know, the holiday season is a joyous time, but it's also a time for crooks to prey on unsuspecting shoppers. As we approach the peak of the holiday season, this is a good time for a reminder on how to be safe during the holiday season. Our guest in the studio today is Sergeant Jay Toth. He's a crime prevention specialist with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office. Sergeant, thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
And happy holidays to you.
Well, same to you. Happy holidays.
Thanks. Probably one of the common things that I need to ask you is, do we see an increase in crime over the holidays?
Not all crime, but certain types of crime. You'll see maybe more road rage incidents because everybody's under such stress and pressure. We'll see a few more domestic violence cases pop up, and we'll see more types of crimes like thefts or burglaries to autos during this time of year.
And obviously we know, we read the newspaper, and in your field you get to see it firsthand. There are some unsavory people out there who try to take advantage of people that may be distracted, may not have their wits about them, may have too much to do. So I guess it seems kind of logical that what we should probably tell people is let's slow down and let's use some good common sense out there.
And that common sense includes being aware of who's around
Right.
us and what we're doing.
Let's talk about shopping first. We know that people like to go out and about. A lot of people have to shop at night and so forth. Let's talk about some of the common things that a shopper should do just to, you say, to be alert.
Well, one of the things is you want to be able to see whoever's around you, both when you're getting out of your car and when you're going back to your car. So even if you park during the daylight, park somewhere where you know it's going to be well lit. So at
Right.
night, when you're coming out with your arms full of Christmas gifts and food stuff, you can see who's around you, who's in your car, so when you walk to your car, you're going to be safe.
Right.
And you also want a busy section, somewhere that's not isolated but
Right.
has lots of other people. That helps keep the crime down as well.
So people walk out of the mall, let's say, and they might have 2, 3, 4 gifts, and they may not be finished with their shopping. Don't put the gifts in the back seat, put them in the trunk, huh?
Put them in the trunk. You want absolutely everything out of sight, and that includes your purse if you happen to leave your purse in the car, your cell phone, any other gifts that you got on previous stops. You want to keep all of those out of sight so no burglars walk by and think that would be a good car to take and steal the stuff out of while they're inside the shop.
So you got your keys, you look inside the vehicle, just in case someone hasn't entered your vehicle, I guess.
We do. In fact, we want you to walk with a purpose to your car. So you're coming out of the store, you've got your arms laden down with gifts, but we want you to continue looking around. We want you to aware of who's out there. Your key should be in your hand because you want to be ready to hit that button at the last second and put your stuff into the car. We want you to look inside your car first, make sure nobody beats you there to it and you don't have any unfriendly visitors waiting for you in your car. So all of that is done. And we don't want you on your phone distracted while you're walking out to your car.
All right, so you're walking out to your car, Sergeant, and you see someone maybe near your car. and you feel a little bit uneasy about that, what do you do then?
Pay attention to your instincts. We say turn back around, go get mall security, go call the law enforcement to report a suspicious person, and watch them and make sure that they're not out there, because trust your instincts.
All right, so I've gotten my holiday shopping done. I'm on my way back home. All of a sudden, I think I see someone following me, because that does happen.
It does happen. We've seen the news reports.
And then what happens?
What we want you to do is do not pull into your driveway. Keep driving past your house. We want you to find a well-lit, busy, public spot, like a convenience store with lots of lights and lots of people around it. But while you're driving to that spot, we want you dialing 911 and reporting to the dispatcher that you think somebody's following you, because it does happen on occasion.
You know, we live in I guess in a world of social media these days, and a lot of people get pretty detailed in their whereabouts. They might be going on vacation, or they might be going shopping. It's probably not a good idea to advertise those things, is it?
Well, you know, we say, in the old days, we used to say, now don't leave a message on your answering machine that says, I'm on vacation for 2 weeks, I'll see you after the first of the year. But now, in addition to the answering machine, we have to remind people, don't leave a Facebook status saying, I'm on a cruise. Don't leave a Twitter message. Don't leave any type of social media indication that you're gone. Wait until you get back, and then you can send everybody all the updates and tell them what a great time you had in the past, because now you're home.
All right, so I am going on vacation. Let's say I'm going to go visit relatives, going to be gone for a week or so. What do people need to do to safeguard their property while they're gone?
Well, you know, this may sound elementary and we forget it sometimes, but in your rush to pack up and leave for the holidays, if you've got gifts that you've received or boxes that indicate that you've got that large screen TV for Christmas or that new Xbox One, do not put it out by the curb for the garbage collectors.
Oh, there you go.
What we want you to do is hide it. We don't want the burglar to have any idea that there's a brand new PS4 waiting in that house for them to steal. So one of the things is don't advertise the new gifts that you have inside the house. The other thing is put your lights on a timer so it looks like somebody's living there. That way they're not sure. Maybe somebody's still home, maybe they're not. Put a radio on so if anybody walks up to the door, they hear voices, preferably a talk show or music if you have to, so leave that on. We suggest, if you live in the county area, the sheriff's office has a house watch system where if you fill out the form and you tell us I'm going to be gone between these dates, I will have this vehicle in the driveway, the neighbor's going to come over and water the plants inside on these dates, and here's the neighbor that has the key. Leave that with us, and we have a citizen observer program where they'll add you to the list and go do a physical property check while you're gone and give you a report when you come back.
Good to know. All right, so I forgot some gifts. I'm going back to the store. A lot of people purchase things these days with debit cards or credit cards. We know that there are people out there always looking to steal someone's credit card identity. What advice do you have for people there, Jay?
We want people to watch for a couple of things. One is something that's called a skimmer. And a skimmer is a device where you think you're swiping your card through the regular machine, whether it's an ATM machine, a gas pump, or at the grocery store. But a skimmer is something the crook has put on there that captures that magnetic stripe information, and then all of a sudden your card's being used to order gifts from all over the world, and you have no idea how they got that. The other thing we want you to do is watch for shoulder surfers. So if you're in line at the store and you swipe your card, well, somebody may have seen the numbers on your card. They may also be looking for your PIN number if you have a debit card. So always shield that. And the same goes if you're going to an ATM. We want you to shield the numbers that you're pressing, and we want you to pay attention to who's around you, because nobody should be walking up to you while you're using an ATM.
As we talk about holiday safety, safety for year-round for that matter, but out and about on the roads, I mean, it's actually a no-brainer. We say it over and over again. If you're going to be at a holiday party, you know, you need to have a designated driver, because drunk driving is a significant problem.
It is, and there's no way to ruin the holiday more than to either be involved in an accident, whether it's just a crashing of the car, or somebody gets injured, or in the worst case scenario, somebody gets killed. That will put a damper on the holidays. It's just not necessary. The problem is there's so many opportunities, there's so many parties everybody gets invited to over the holidays. We usually see the DUI rates really skyrocket around this time, and that's a shame.
All right, so I'm out on the road. I see a vehicle in front of me that may be weaving a little bit. Should I be hesitant to report that?
Absolutely not. Don't hesitate a second. You know, in the days before cell phones, we never got the opportunity to catch these folks in the act. Nowadays, with everybody having a cell phone, you just simply dial that number. You're connected to a dispatcher who sends a patrol car, and we catch so many of these in the act and take them off the road. Who knows how many lives we've actually saved because somebody called that in when they saw it in front of them.
And I suppose if you think that the person around you, in the vehicle around you, is had too much to drink, I suppose it would be better to stay behind that person.
Stay behind, exactly. Right. You don't want to be in front, and then stay well behind. You don't want anybody to think you're following them, but as long as you're going in the same direction, keep feeding that dispatcher the information on the direction of travel of that vehicle, and the more information we receive, the more our opportunity to actually catch them.
I'm assuming the Sheriff's Office will be joining with FHP, local law enforcement, etc., and I'm assuming, like every year, you'll be out with extra patrols.
Every year we put extra patrols on the road, and it's right from the Thanksgiving season all the way through Christmas, and it continues well into the new year because those are all peak times. And we do it in conjunction with the Florida Highway Patrol and several of the local city municipalities, the police departments as well. So your chances of being stopped for DUI, much, much higher. Definitely not worth the risk.
And if you've had too much to drink, you're going to jail?
You are going to jail, and that's just the beginning. That's the least of your problems. Your
Right.
vehicle will be towed. You will have a court date. You will have huge expenses as far as legal fees. It's just not worth it. A designated driver is too easy to find these days.
And what about road rage? You mentioned that at the beginning. A lot of people, you know, frustrated, anxious, you know, short of time, short of patience. Road rage must be a problem over the holidays.
We do, and what we want people is to not become a victim to road rage, because you can't control what the other person is feeling, but you can control your response to it. So if you're involved in one of these incidents, we want you to just back away, pick up the cell phone, give us a call. Where we get in trouble is we find that sometimes people make the problem worse by trying to follow that vehicle, and then when you're following it and the other vehicle knows you're following it, things just go downhill rapidly. Just call it in and back off.
And it takes some self-restraint.
Self-restraint.
I mean, you know, you all of a sudden you're cut off or whatever. You know, you want to make some gestures yourself, or you know, one of these things.
Exactly.
Hey, I mean, people are getting shot these days for those kinds of things.
They absolutely are, because you may be waving your hand at somebody in a rude manner, and then they come back and wave a gun at you. And we've heard those reports as well.
Well, Sergeant Toth, I want to thank you for being with us and sharing the information with us. You know, I think if we all just take that good, deep breath and think about what we're doing, we'll probably just get through the holidays just fine. So thanks for the good information with us.
Well, thanks, and we hope everybody has a safe, healthy, and happy holiday.
Well, thanks for being with us. Our guest today, Sergeant J. Toth, Crime Prevention Specialist with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thanks for watching this edition of Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about our program, just give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed on the screen. You can also watch Volusia Magazine online. Just visit volusia.org and click on the news icon. And don't forget to listen to Volusia Today, Volusia County Government's public information radio program, which airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see listed on the screen. Thanks for watching this edition of Volusia Magazine. I'm Joanne Magley. Have a great week.